Hi, Dana Taylor here for Comm 4413, week 5, our last video, um, reflecting on all the areas that we're supposed to reflect on. I think my first step will be in reviewing, especially the news footage from the 1970s. I felt like I could really see the transition looking back from the human element, our emotions. In the 70s, it was very much just the facts. Think you just cut and dried. And I think some of the early sitcoms were that way. Dragnet comes to mind. But it was very kind of black and white. And now television is much more, it plays much more in the gray area. And I think it did in earlier decades. And secondly, I would talk about the complex narrative. Mattel talks about it extensively in our text, and it led to my television studies project. But just the idea that we have evolved beyond just the basic building, action, climax, resolution of the story, and there are much deeper elements. We now have serial dramas that continue on and on, so that and they aren't soap operas anymore, which was kind of a beginning thing. And that leads me to my third thing. The complex narrative has enabled science fiction to television to really shift. In its infancy, it was aimed towards children. It was not taking as serious TV. Even Star Trek, which has become an iconic science fiction television show with fans all over the world, was really not. It was supposed to be kind of a parody. It really wasn't supposed to be taken seriously. And so science fiction today is very different. It's not aimed for children. A lot of it is not appropriate for children any longer. It has definitely become more mainstream. We have our own television channel for science fiction now. It's just evolved greatly, and I think the complex narrative, which I mentioned earlier, has given it a vehicle in which to evolve. And that led to my television studies project, which is about science fiction on television and kind of its evolution, listing programs that started out from the very early, where you could see the strings attached to the rocket, to today's very modern, very sophisticated AI productions that they put on, but also the human element that's deeply invested in them, in the complex narrative that's come to science fiction, that's let it be more than just this fantasy world. So I don't want to get too carried away with it. I could talk about it for a long time. But I hope, I look forward to seeing what all of you chose for your television studies, and I've enjoyed being in class with all of you. Thanks.